today I'm going to show you how I do my everyday face and the products that I like to use and like how I apply them and stuff. So if you want to see how I do this, then just keep on watching. So before doing my makeup, I always make sure that my hands are clean, that my face is clean, my brushes are clean, and that my hair is clipped out of my face so that it doesn't interfere with me doing my makeup. So I have a few different foundations that I like to use, but the one that I've been obsessed with recently has been the Bourjois Healthy Mix Foundation, and I really like it because it covers a lot, but it's very light. I usually use two different brushes to apply my foundation, and the first one is the Sigma Foundation F60 brush. This brush is great if you want a lot of coverage. And I also use this e.l.f. powder brush to sort of buff in the foundation. So first I'm going to use the Sigma, and I'm just stroking this outwards. So applying it gently, and then in small sort of sweeps, I'm sweeping the foundation outwards. And I bring this a little bit underneath my eye, and also make sure that you work that foundation into your jawline so that you don't have like a contrasting color between your neck and your face. And since my eyelids are a little bit darker than the rest of my face, I'm just going to apply a little bit of foundation on them as well. This just like gives me a very even complexion. Alright, so now I'm going to use the e.l.f. powder brush, and I'm just going to go in circular motions to buff in that foundation. Alright, so now you can see that my skin tone has been evened out really nicely, and you can't really see a lot of redness and discoloration anymore. So now moving on to concealer, I'll be using the NYX concealer in a jar. This is what the product looks like, and my shade is an 03 Light. This concealer is a lot lighter than the ones that I own, but I really like that because it provides a really nice bright-eyed effect. Just taking a little bit of this onto my ring finger, and I'm just going to press that underneath my eye and focusing on the dark circles, sort of warming up that product so that it can melt into the skin easier. If you really want a very, very bright eye, I suggest bringing the concealer further down than your dark circles would go. So sort of in a triangle, so that when this product reflects the light, it'll bring light into this whole area and not just your under eye circles. And you can sort of also bring that a little bit backwards right here. So once I've pressed that into my skin, I'm going to take a fluffy brush. Today I'm using the MAC 224 brush, and I'm taking that and I'm just blending it in. So again, to remove any streaks or finger marks or whatever, just to make it look very nice and flawless. So now I'm going to cover the darkness around my nose, and I'm just taking a little bit of that on my ring finger and pressing that into my skin around the nose, and also a little bit here around the mouth. And sometimes I also like to take a little bit of this and apply that down the center of my nose, just to bring more light and definition to my nose. Alright, so now I'm done with my foundation and my concealer, and before I set this, I'm going to apply a little bit of eyeshadow primer to my lids, just right there where it tends to crease the most. I sometimes do this with my finger, or I blend it in with a fluffy brush. So I tend to alternate between two different setting powders, and one that I like to use is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. As you can see, I've almost hit pan on this. This is in medium, and sometimes I like to use the MAC Blot Powder. This is in the shade Medium Dark. This powder is not very pigmented. This powder just helps to control oil and control shine throughout the day. I love using a very soft and fluffy brush to set my foundation. The one that I like to use is this one by Sonia Kashuk, but it doesn't have a number or a name on it, so I don't really know what it's called, but I think it's called like the Overall Face Brush or something. And recently I got for Christmas this MAC Kabuki brush. I think this provides a little bit more coverage when you're doing a powder because it's a lot denser. Today I'm going to use the Kabuki brush, and I'm going to swirl it in the product like so. And I'm just going to take this and buff it in circular motions into the skin. And you really want to make sure that your brush is nice and soft, and also that it's clean. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of this blot powder and apply that around my nose area and on my forehead and on my chin, where I tend to get oily. So the next thing that I like to do is just to define my eyebrows a little bit, and I like to use this Anastasia Brow Powder Duo, and I also like to use this double-ended brush by Anastasia, which has a spoolie side and a flat angled brush side. So I always start by just brushing out the eyebrows, and I usually start by just taking a little bit of that darker shade, and with that dark brown color I just sort of fill in this front part, which looks a little bit more sparse than the other side. So I just try to make them look even. So I'm just filling in this side right here. And then I'm taking the lighter shade and just tracing above my eyebrows to just give a really nice line to them. And then I sort of just do the same thing on the other side. So now my eyebrows are nice and defined, and I'm going to take this e.l.f. clear gloss that you can apply on top of your eyebrows to sort of set them so that the hairs don't like fall down in the middle of the day. I usually just take a very, very small amount and gently brush that through the brows. It's sort of like hairspray for your eyebrows. Alright, now I'm going to contour my face, and I have a whole video on how I contour and highlight and apply blush, so I will link that down below. I'm taking my NYC Smooth Skin bronzer, which is a matte bronzer, and I'm using this MAC 109 dome-shaped contouring brush. I always do like a fish face to find my cheekbone, and I apply the bronzer right underneath. On a day-to-day basis, I don't go too crazy with my contouring, but I do like to have a little bit of extra definition on my face. Okay, so moving on to blush. This is one of my favorites at the moment. It's called Sweet and Spicy, and it's by Hard Candy. Always apply my blush using the Sigma Large Angled Contour F40 brush, and I like that it's contoured so that you can fit the brush really nicely into your cheek. I'm going to apply that right here. And I like to bring it a little bit back and sort of blend it in with my bronzer. And I absolutely love pink blushes. I think they look really nice and girly. So now moving on to a step that I know a lot of people don't usually do on an everyday basis, but I love doing it, and it's to add a highlighter to my face. I'm going to be using the Sleek Face Contour Kit and taking the highlighter from this kit. I'm going to be using this fan brush from Sephora, which is number 43. Apply that right here underneath my eye and work it backwards a little bit down my nose. Alright, so I'm done with all my face products, and for the eyes I usually just like to sweep one color across the lid and sort of just blend it a little bit up into the crease and then add some mascara. I usually use my Naked palette, but I recently got the Naked 2 and there's some absolutely gorgeous colors in here. The one that I'm going to use today is called YDK, and it's a beautiful bronzy, has a little bit of, I guess, a rosy undertone to it, and I'm just going to sweep that or like pat that across the lid. As you guys can see, this color is not too far away from my natural eyelid color, but I like that it sort of adds a little bit of a metallic sheen, and I'm just going to blend that into my crease. I'm actually also going to add a little bit of this color here called Booty Call, which is a nice light shimmery color, and I'm just going to use a flat shader brush. This is the MAC 239. I'm going to put that right underneath my eyebrow. The last step for the eyes is just to add some mascara. I usually don't do like an eyeliner when I'm in a hurry or like just on every day. And I have a ton of different mascaras that I like to use, but today I'm going to be using the Benefit They're Real mascara, which is amazing. I really like it. And I usually spend a good couple minutes on my mascara. And I also like to apply some to the lower lashes. Okay, so moving on to my lipstick. I don't wear a lipstick religiously. On a day-to-day basis, I just use this Rosebud Salve lip balm, which I am in love with. It smells really, really good, and it's very, very moisturizing. But on like days when I do like to wear lipstick, I like wearing pinks and corally colors. I have a ton of favorites, but for this video I'm going to be using a lipstick by Revlon called Pink in the Afternoon, which is one of my favorite pink lipsticks. And then I like to take my finger and work that into my lips to sort of melt the product and make it look a little bit more natural. And there you go! Alright, so this is usually what I do when I do my makeup, but I don't wear makeup every single day because it's not very good for your skin. And when I do wear makeup, I try to only wear it for the amount of time that I really need to wear it. So as soon as I get home, for example, I'll take my makeup off to let my skin breathe, which is very, very important when you want to have good skin. And don't forget to check out my blog where I post daily on my everyday life, and I post pictures, things like that. So if you want to follow me around on my blog, then the link will be down below and you can go ahead and check that out. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!